Okay, we are going to go ahead and we're going to get started with the patterns 4 and 5 sentences. And so we're going to start with the first sentence here. These are the last two pattern sentences, by the way. We don't learn any more for the rest of the semester, so that's a good thing. So let's go ahead and get started with Dad is a clown. So as always, we're going to start off with the subject question, which is who is a clown? And the answer, of course, is Dad, subject noun. And then we're going to ask what is being said about Dad? And the answer is Dad is, verb. Dad is what? And we're going to verify the noun. And now you're going to realize why we've asked this silly question in the pattern 2 and 3 sentence. Because when we verify the noun now, we say, does clown mean the same thing as dad? And the answer here is yes. And so when it means the same thing as the subject noun, it's no longer the direct object. It's what's called the predicate noun. And the verb is no longer a regular verb, it's what's called a linking verb. What that means is that it's linking the subject to the predicate noun. In other words, the linking verb kind of acts as an equal sign. Dad equals clown. Okay, let's go ahead and finish this off. We have A as an article adjective, and the way we complete the formula is subject noun, linking verb, predicate noun, pattern 4. And now when we check, we're going to check that it is indeed a linking verb. And when we check again, there's no prepositional phrases, so it's period, statement, declarative sentence. Go back to the verb, and everything else is the same. Okay, let's do another one. I'm going to skip number 2 because basically it's the same as number 1. It just has a couple of more descriptors in it. So let's go down here to number 3. And we have Mr. Sims is my gym teacher at school. So the subject question is, who is my gym teacher at school? And the answer, Mr. Sims, subject noun. What is being said about Mr. Sims? Mr. Sims is, verb. Mr. Sims is what? Teacher. Verify the noun. Does teacher mean the same thing as Mr. Sims? In other words, can we say that teacher equals Mr. Sims? And the answer is yes. And so teacher becomes our predicate noun, and is becomes our linking verb. And we're going to continue going towards the period, and so we have at is a preposition. At what school, object of the preposition. What kind of teacher, gym, adjective. Whose teacher, my, possessive, pronoun, adjective. Subject noun, linking verb, predicate noun, pattern 4, check. Is linking verb, check again. At school, prepositional phrase. Period, statement, declarative sentence. Go back to the verb. Divide the complete subject from the complete predicate. Now the rest of the sentences are basically the same. I don't particularly like this handout because it makes it appear like is the only linking verb. That is not true. There are other linking verbs out there. Seems can be a linking verb, becomes can be a linking verb. So just make sure that you always ask the question, and if the verb itself is acting like an equal sign, then you know that you are dealing with a pattern 4 sentence. Now what we're going to do is we're now going to learn the pattern 5. Which is very similar, so you have to be kind of careful between the pattern 4 and the pattern 5 sentence. So if you scroll down to the bottom half of your worksheet, we have what's called the pattern 5 sentences. And so let's go ahead and do sentence number 1. And sentence number 1 reads, a wild rose is very beautiful. So the subject question would be, what is very beautiful? And the answer, of course, is rose, subject noun. What is being said about Rose? Rose is, verb. Rose is what? Beautiful. And in the pattern 5 sentence, what we're doing is we're verifying the adjective. Now very often students will say, well, how do you know the difference? Well, that comes from knowing your 8 parts of speech. So a noun is going to name something, an adjective is going to describe something. And so here, when we say verify the adjective, the question we're going to ask is, what kind of rose? And the answer is beautiful rose. And so this becomes what's called a predicate adjective. It is an adjective that's found in the predicate, but really it is describing the noun, the subject noun. Now, I have no idea why Shurley Grammar chooses to label predicate noun PRN and chooses to label predicate adjective just a PA. But that's what she does, and I'm a rule follower, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we've labeled beautiful as the predicate adjective. We need to come back here and label is as the linking verb, because again, the linking verb is, it acts as an equal sign to say that the rose is or is equal to beautiful. So let's go through and finish. So how beautiful? Very. That would be an adverb. What kind of rose? Wild. That would be an adjective. A article, adjective. And so the formula for a pattern 5 sentence is very similar. It's subject noun, linking verb, but it's a predicate adjective, and that's what makes it a pattern 5. And check, and we're going to check that is the linking verb. Check again, period, statement, declarative sentence. Go back to the verb. Divide the complete subject from the complete predicate. So again, let's try one more, and then I'm going to have you go at it on your own here. So let's skip number 2. It's very similar to number 1. So let's go down here to number 3. And we have, this coat is cozy and warm. What is cozy and warm? Coat, subject noun. What is being said about coat? Coat is verb. Coat is what? Cozy and warm. Verify the adjectives. What kind of coat? Cozy and warm. And so here it becomes a compound predicate adjective, compound predicate adjective, and yes indeed it's CPA, and is our conjunction. We're going to go back and we're going to say which coat? This coat. That would be an adjective. And we have subject noun, linking verb, predicate adjective, pattern 5, check, is, ooh, see, this is why we do a check. Is a linking verb. Check again, period, statement, declarative sentence. Go back to the verb, divide the complete subject from the complete predicate. Okay, so what I'm going to have you do is I want you to finish this side using what you've just learned in the video. If you need to go back and rewatch the video, absolutely do so. And then I do believe you have a back side to this worksheet. I would like you to complete those, bring them to class, next class period, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have regarding the pattern 4 and 5 sentence.